What's up, beautiful people? It's your favorite light in Boogie in this thing. Welcome to another episode of the Can't Be Broken podcast, where we are shining light on the darkness that is domestic violence and abuse. Welcome to the show. We got 3 simple goals: to educate, empower, and encourage. We are here to educate anyone who's never been in an abusive relationship, doesn't understand abusive relationships, why somebody would stay or even go back. We gonna find out. We're here to empower all of our survivors to stand up and share your story without shame, fear, guilt, or judgment, because you are strong, you are powerful, and your voice deserves to be heard. And to anyone who is currently suffering in silence, listen, you are not alone. You are not crazy. Abuse is not normal. Your feelings are valid. And despite how it may look and feel in this very moment, there is always a way out, and we encourage you to seek support. And y'all come on and hop up in this thing, because y'all know we got to rise above these insecurities, release the burdens of shame and guilt, and revive our God-given power, purpose, and passion the confidence way, because we about to light it up. Y'all, welcome to another amazing episode. I am super, super excited. 1, to have you here. 2, to introduce this amazing, beautiful light spirit, this vibrant piece of the world that everyone needs to know, who is here to share her story with us. We super, 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 super appreciate her taking her time out in this moment to go through these things with us, so that we can have more clarity on what abuse is, how it looks, what it feels like, how it can be different, so that you know what's going on. So y'all put your hands together and welcome to the show, Miss Bree. Pew, 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 pew. Confetti, 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 confetti. How you doing, sis?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh my gosh, it's a great day to be alive. I am so excited about this conversation that we are going to have today. How you feeling?
I'm all right. Just been working and everything else.
That we gonna get in it. That's what we got to do. People ask me how I'm doing. I'm like, I'm hanging in there like a panda bear. You know, I think a panda bear is my spirit animal. We fall down, we roll around, we get back up. It's gonna be all right. It's gonna be all right. Oh my God,
that sounds about accurate.
Mama, look at her
yes, yes. I'm like, I'm all panda bear now. That's just my life. So let's get to it. Let's get busy. My first question is, when you were growing up, did you ever see or witness anything like in your immediate family or extended family, school or neighborhood, that was like signs of abuse or unhealthy relationships?
A little bit. I mean, because whenever, people drink, they always, definitely not who they, normally are when they're sober. So, of course, whenever I was younger, I did see some of it and everything like that, and in the family. But, pretty much now I haven't. No.
Okay. So when you were younger, and were you actually seeing actual abuse, or was it just the lead up to what could have been abuse, like something that was uncomfortable in the environment because of people drinking?
Whenever they was drinking, it would just be like verbal, and then it would somewhat turn aggressive, but both of them, were kind of like that. But now it's not like that at all.
Okay. Are these your parents, or are these just family members?
They were, yes. My mom is deceased now and everything. But yeah, my dad is definitely not like that anymore.
Okay. Well, thank God. That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
He's moved on beyond that. So you saw the verbal, you didn't really see anything like massively abusive other than the verbal abuse growing up, and,
yes,
just around the drinking and everything. So when was your first experience? Like, how old were you when you felt like you first experienced it, either firsthand or secondary to a certain extent?
I mean, in my early childhood, it was fine. I don't remember nothing of that nature. My parents honestly didn't get bad until me and my sister had already basically gotten out of high school. I don't know if it was just, my mom, we thought of her health issues, and everything like that, or what it was, but that's whenever, things in the household, got a little bit bad. But other than that, that's the first time that I had experienced anything like that.
Wow. So you didn't see it actually growing up. It was after you graduated.
Yes, pretty much.
Okay. So before you were in your abusive situation, before I even asked that question, how many abusive situations did you find yourself in?
I have only been in one relationship where it
But
was like that. You
j-
what?
was there a non-relationship where it was like that?
No. No,
Okay.
I have not been in one.
Okay. So prior to that relationship, had you ever had a boyfriend or anything like that that was, just normal or healthy?
Yeah, I wouldn't necessarily say healthy. I mean, in high school there was one, but I mean, then there was another one that it was on and off for a long time, but he always cheated, and it was just very unhealthy. And then I was single for a long time, and then that's whenever I met um, the one that I was in the abusive relationship with.
And how old were you at that time?
Oh, probably let's see. I would probably say about 25 because I had my son at 27. So I would
Okay.
say that I was about 25.
Okay. So you doing good. You get up to 25, you meet homeboy, and like what is that like when you meet? Do you see in the moment any signs or flags or now that could have been flags, or was it just a nice entrance into a relationship?
There was one sign looking back, like I had caught him talking to a woman and I had confronted and he did shove me, but like it wasn't like aggressive that like I hit the wall or nothing. It was just like, a shove. So I would say like, yeah, that was a red flag because he put his hands on me. Um, but it really, like, didn't get, like, aggressive until I got pregnant.
Mm,
But,
I
of
had a,
course, there was always the micromanaging. I mean, there was that.
so before we even get into the first shove, how long were y'all, I guess, talking or getting to know each other before you saw that side of him?
Um, ah, I don't even think that it'd been that long, maybe 4 months.
Wow. Wow. That's early. So can you think back and remember like when he shoved you, what your thought process was? Was it kind of like, what was that? Confused or like, I need to get away, but I'm gonna like, what were you thinking?
I was just like, "Okay, well, maybe he's just mad because I went through his phone, and found, the messages that I, shouldn't have even been going through his phone." But, I
Yep.
mean, yeah, now looking back at it, yeah, definitely
So-
first sign.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And I just want to settle in that for a minute. One, what you just did is what a lot of us do in those situations. We try to we, I think, unconsciously justify their behavior based off our actions, even
Yeah,
though nothing we do, unless it is us being abusive to them, is warranted for anybody to be abusive or physically aggressive with us. And so I
right.
want to sit there because there's somebody that's going to watch this and they're going to say, oh well, it was nothing, it was just a little, and they're going to stay. Don't
Right.
stay. Like it's a little there because it's almost like they're testing the water to see what you're going to allow, and once you allow one
Yeah,
thing, they're going to go with it. They're going to keep pushing that line, that boundary back until somebody somebody taps out, and usually it's not the person that's doing the aggression, the abuse. So if you find yourself in a situation where something happens that makes you uncomfortable with your partner, whether it's a man or a woman, and you hear yourself justifying their inappropriate behavior because of something you did, that's a sign that
yeah.
it's not healthy. Like, you got to be there. And
Yeah,
any
I definitely know that now.
right, right. And that I did the same thing. I did the same thing. It's like even even the very last incident, I was talking to my counselor about it, and I could see the look on his face like, my poor child still doesn't get it, you know. But I was talking to my counselor about it, and I was like, and I know I shouldn't have yet. Like, I was like, I shouldn't have yelled. I know I was wrong. I'm like, that it ain't got nothing to do with me yelling. And I learned later, you know, that it was reactive abuse, which is basically, for anyone who doesn't know what that is when the person who is consistently abusive is basically like nagging you, you know, and
Yeah.
they're continuing and continuing, continue, and you suck it in and you hold it in, and you hold it in, and then one day, like it's just one thing and you explode, and then they play like they try to point the blame on you, like, look at what you're doing, why are you behaving
Yeah.
like this? This is so unhealthy, and calling you toxic. Like they're flipping the script on you when they built that tension up inside of you and you just couldn't take it anymore. And so I yelled. I just yelled. I was so sick of it. And I can remember telling my counselor, I was like, and I was talking about it, and I'm just like, I know I shouldn't have yelled in that moment. Buffoonery. Straight up
Yeah.
buffoonery. Y'all, listen, these jokers are very manipulative, and they're gonna do everything to wear you down, even if they're not highly aggressively physical with you. It's physically exhausting to be in any kind of abusive relationship, emotional, psychological, like when someone is controlling you any kind of way and intimidating you and all of these things, it is physically exhausting to have to ride those waves all the time and walk on eggshells and figure, and you're losing yourself. You can't even be yourself because you don't know if it's going to offend somebody. And if that somebody's going to be offended, it's going to come back and attack you for it.
Yeah.
So I wanted to stay there for a second because it's going to happen, and it's happening all the time, where the person who's being abused is constantly being abused, and then they take credit for, almost like taking credit for the abuser's actions. And so I
Yeah.
don't want us to do that. To whoever's watching, whoever is in that situation right now, be mindful of when you start doing that, you're not in a good space. You're not in a good situation, and you should do whatever you can to get out of it. Okay. So, and then the second thing, the small shove, like Bree said, anytime someone puts your hands on you in an unloving way, that's the sign to just walk away. Like, don't even, there's nothing else that needs to be said. I don't care how many sorries, I don't care how many tears you have. There's nothing else that needs to be said, because you
Yeah.
doing that, whether you're sober or drunk, you made this decision to do that.
Yeah.
And that tells me that you can make a conscious decision to do it again. It's something worse. So you're 25, 4 months in. Before we get there, was he like really nice? Was he like, did you feel
Yeah.
really safe?
Super charming, like do anything that I ask you, everything. Made it sound like that, he carried out a job, had a good job, everything.
That's crazy.
Come to find out he can't even hold a job.
Can they ever? There are some who can't. There are some, it's like polar opposites. There are some who just can't keep a job and won't keep a job. And then there are some who are these big time 6-figure, 7-figure earners in this corporate high executive place. It's like there's almost no middle ground. Can't keep a job, don't got a job, end up depending on you, then telling you what to do with your money and how you got it, and all these crazy things. But he was amazing at first, for the first 4 months.
Yeah. Until I found him with the text messages, and then he was just like, after he left, after the shove and everything like that, he was just like, basically, charming again and everything, trying to be on best behavior. And then it was pretty solid up until, no, I had a birthday dinner with my uncle. He was taking me and my sister, and he got so mad, so mad, so mad about that.
Why?
Um, then again, he wanted to micromanage everything and didn't want me going out and doing anything with anybody. And I was going to do something without him, and he got mad, said that he was going to take the stove that he had bought me for a gift. Yeah, and at that point, my uncle basically just said, just go buy you a new stove and set that one outside.
Why didn't you do that?
Yeah, I know. But then I wouldn't have my son either.
It's no judgment, but
I know.
somebody wants to know why. Like, there are some people who. So, did you tell your uncle? Like, did you tell him certain things, like about the shove and apparently about?
No. No, but I actually was very vocal about the abuse though. Like everybody that I worked with like knew about it and everything. Like I didn't keep any of it quiet.
Really?
Yep.
So, what was
His
that
his mom
like?
even knew.
His mom?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, let's sit there, breathe. Because last week I had someone who I was talking to, and she told me that his mom was, and his sisters tried to warn her. And they're like, he's just not right. You know, be careful. He can hurt you, things like that. And his mom told her that he was a demon. Like, that's my demon child, you know? So it went from that to, that was like one of the only conversations that I've had since I've started the show where someone acknowledged the abuse of the person that they're related to. His mom knew, but she didn't she didn't say anything to you. She didn't what
She had told me one time that he had raised his fist, but he never swung. I
on
can't
who?
remember. I can't remember 100% if she said that he raised it to her or if he raised it to somebody else. But I do remember her saying that he did raise his fist to somebody. But she said that he never did swing. But whenever I did file the first EPO against him, she was basically sending me third party messages threatening me.
What? Were y'all married at the time?
We were never married. Mm-mm.
Okay, so did you already have your son?
Yes.
Okay, so y'all get into a relationship at 25. You're 25. How old is he at the time?
Trying to think of how much older he was. I know that whenever Brexton was born, I think he was 32.
So you're
He was
25 and
born,
he's
he was born
32.
in 86. I can't do that math right now.
So how many years ago was this?
Brexton's 5, so it would have been about
Okay.
5 years ago.
Okay. So 5 years ago, he was 30, he was like 34.
Yeah, because I think Brixton was close to around like almost 1. He was
Okay.
already setting up. So yeah.
So when you were 25, then he was 32-ish, like you said, 31, 32.
Probably, yeah.
So he's about 7 years older than you.
Yes, that
How did
sounds
y'all
right.
meet?
Facebook.
Did y'all
It
have
kind of
mutual?
was like Facebook, but then he would also come into the store that I'm a store manager at also.
Okay. So he's like 7 years older than you.
Mhm.
You're 25. I mean, that's still really young. Like in the grand scheme of life and growth, 25 is still, in my mind, like we're still babies at 25. Like we still have so much to learn about ourselves and the world. So he comes in, tra la la la, and you didn't think anything about the age difference.
I didn't.
Did your parents say anything about it?
No, because I'm not one to really, put my love life out there
Okay.
either. So, no. My
Oh,
parents did show up one time whenever he was over here unannounced.
really?
Yeah, my parents showed up over here unannounced one time.
How did that go?
He just stayed back here in the bedroom. He didn't even come out to meet my parents.
Was that like your doing or his doing, or it's like a mutual thing?
Kind of mutual,
Okay.
basically. Like I told him, I was like, "That's my parents." I was like, "So I don't really know if you want to do this or not."
Okay. Okay. So fast forward, you have the baby. He starts getting really aggressive after you get pregnant.
Which we actually had to do fertility treatments to get Brexton. I had to do 2 rounds of Clomid.
Really?
Yes,
So
ma'am.
y'all wanted to have a baby together.
Yes.
But before you got pregnant, there was no other physical abuse besides the shove.
Correct. It was just, trying to keep me, like secluded basically. Like no, he had never hit me or nothing
So
until like while I was pregnant basically. I got shoved again whenever I was pregnant.
what is it that you remember thinking? So you're not married, you're still pretty young, and you're like, I want to have a baby with this man. Do you feel like it was more of him pressuring you into it because of his age? Or were you like, yeah, let's do this, and then we're struggling to do it, so let's take.
A little bit, because even like after he had gotten abusive the first time, he was, still kind of, wanting to, like get married and stuff like that. And I was just like, no, no.
Why not?
Because I have worked for everything that I own, and he would not help me pay bills, nothing. Like, you're in my house and you're basically living here. I shouldn't have to help. I shouldn't have to ask you to help, me pay the bills. Like, you should be offering to help me pay them, and everything. I shouldn't have to come to a man and ask, hey, can you, pay some of the bills since you're living here? Like, I feel like that the man should basically be coming and saying, like, hey, here's so and so, this should help with some of your, mortgage or, light bill or something like that.
So he's not keeping a job and he's living off of you.
Pretty much. When we first got together, he worked for the union.
Okay.
But rarely worked. They were on layoff all the time.
So what was it that you feel kept you in the relationship before y'all decided to have kids? Like, because you see that you don't even want to marry him because he's not stepping up to the plate. What was it that kept you there?
Um, I think beforehand it was just, oh, that's kind of like a hard question, looking back. Probably can't even answer what was going through my head at that time. I mean, I worked full time and everything. Oh, well, actually, no. It was probably that, if I was going to have a kid, I needed to have it now, also, too.
Really?
Because, like, my mom passed unexpectedly, and then my papa, I was taking care of him. And I was just like, I wanted, if I had a kid, I wanted my papa to, be able to meet them and everything, which I know is a really bad excuse to have a kid. Um,
Trust me, there are a lot worse out there. Okay. We all a lot worse. Wow. So
but
you
then
really
again, like, I mean, after, just the micromanaging, I mean, other than that, it really wasn't physical until, I got pregnant.
that's
Just that one shove
bananas.
whenever I, had caught him going through the phone.
That's bananas. So you felt like you were in a time crunch because you had lost your mom and you're this age. You're like, I want my baby. I know I want to have kids in the future, but I want my baby to know my family. I want my family to know my baby.
Right. Yeah.
And so y'all went to the extent of like getting help,
Yeah.
like fertilization treatments so that you could have a baby.
Yeah.
But you didn't want to marry him because you saw that he was
Yeah,
not.
after the first time that he hit me in the back of the head and he said something about, getting married, I was like, "Yeah, nope, nope, nope."
Okay, so now we got it. Now we getting the thick of it. So you get pregnant,
Mhm.
find out you're pregnant. How soon after you find out you're pregnant that he starts getting physically abusive again?
So, my son was actually born at 30 weeks,
Mm-hmm.
because I had preeclampsia and HELP syndrome. And I was actually hospitalized 2 weeks prior to having an emergency C-section with him. He would not stay all night at the hospital with me. Um
Still doesn't have a job.
He's still working for the union, basically on layoff. So basically, no.
Okay.
Um, and yeah. And of course, I'm not working because I'm on, FMLA from being at the hospital on bed rest, basically. But prior to that, I was on bed rest for, swelling and everything like that.
Wow.
Yeah.
So it wasn't an easy pregnancy.
It was definitely not. Probably not going to do that again. One and done. One and done.
Probably. Oh my gosh. Because it took a
Well,
lot
it was
to see
he
it.
done my doctor done an emergency C-section because like my liver and my kidneys were starting to shut down and they were
Wow.
losing his heartbeat.
Wow.
Yes.
Do you think that the emergency C-section had anything to do with do you think any of the abuse affected your pregnancy for the first, 30 weeks?
Mm, no, no, it was probably for the most part, he shoved me up against the sink in the bathroom while I was pregnant just because I was wearing a dress to go look at
Come
furniture for
again.
the nursery.
And he didn't like the dress, or he didn't like the fact that you were in a dress and about to walk out the house?
He di he didn't like the fact that I was wearing a dress just to go look at nursery furniture.
So the conversation went, "Where are you going?" "I'm going to go look at nursery furniture." Not in
He
that.
already knew where I was going. And, like I was, swollen and everything like that. What's comfortable for a pregnant person to wear? A dress. So, and it was a long black maxi dress, but no, he tried to, yeah, like he pulled it and it made, like a rip sound. And then he got mad and shoved me up against the sink in the bathroom.
Was there anything, like, did he ever express any kind of dislike about you wearing dresses in public before?
I really don't wear them a lot. Well, I didn't used to wear them a lot. Now I wear them all the time, a little bit.
So you didn't wear dresses that often. So when he knew you were going out and you had the dress on, was he just like, "I don't want you to go out in that"? And you said, "Well, this is what's like." How did that conversation even go?
Pretty much that's it. I was just like, well, I was like, this is what's most comfortable for me right now. And a lot of my clothes, weren't fitting. And yeah, he didn't
He
care,
just snapped.
basically.
Was he abusive the entire pregnancy, or was there ever a time where it was like, "Oh, I can breathe. He's taking a couple of months off"?
Um, yeah, like during the first and everything like that. Yeah.
He was like the first trimester or so, it wasn't so bad, but then
Yeah, cause he acted like that he was, like, super excited that I was pregnant and everything, which that's probably because he thought that it'd trap me and that I probably wasn't ever gonna leave.
right.
But I've always been pretty independent as a person, so
I mean, y'all are intentional about getting pregnant though, so I guess he did think maybe he thought he was convincing you to get pregnant as opposed to you already having your reasons for why you wanted to get pregnant.
yeah.
But we gotta go back to his mom real quick. So you're vocal about this. Like, you're telling people at the job, like, what are they saying? Are they giving you any advice? Are they trying to encourage you to get out? Are they saying you can come stay with me? Like,
Documentation.
that's why you were telling them?
Documentation. They helped me document it because 'cause I'm not gonna lie, his family has money, you
Mhm.
know, and I'm the type that I know that if it came down to it, my family's not gonna help me with, no lawyer fees or nothing. I would have to do it on my own. That's fine. And I was just like, ain't I know how I know how sometimes these things go. So I was just like, I'm gonna, I'm gonna document what I need to. But of course, text messages save and everything like that.
Excellent. So I want to say this. That's so smart. And a lot of people don't do it. So for whoever is in that situation right now, it is imperative, because even with having it, it's still going to be in some cases, it can still be a fight.
Yeah.
But to have someone that you can share something with and they're not judging you and they're there to support for that reason, like trying to find somebody like that, or even if you just go to a coworker and you're like, listen, I know this situation is jacked up. It's messed up. I know. I'm gonna get out of it some kind of way at some point. Right now, it's not happening. But I need your help because I can't keep this here at the house. Like whatever you need to do to have
Yeah.
incidents saved externally from wherever y'all are living, do it. Like
Well,
somebody's gonna
see,
help.
my brother-in-law is actually a cop for the town that I live in.
Okay.
And he came the first time that he did, physically hit me and everything like that. But of course, once I, kept going back, kept taking him back, really not really going back, but kept taking him back. I mean, I noticed that the family was kind of distancing themselves. I did notice that, like my family was distancing themselves. And I'm assuming that's because that they didn't like him. They didn't want to be around him because they knew what, he was doing.
So they found out because you called the police, but you stayed. Do you feel like why were you staying? Why did you keep taking him back after all of these times?
Because he promised to change. He
Mm.
promised to go and get help.
And
He would make me
you
go and get help for a week, get prescribed medicine. As soon as those prescriptions ran out, he would quit taking them and go right back.
what did his family say?
Nothing really.
Because
I
you
just
said
know
his
that the first
mom.
time that I had him arrested, that his mom somebody messaged me wanting to know why I put his picture up on Facebook or something. I never even done that. Never done that. So they sitting there accusing me of something that I didn't do. Then I got threatened that my phone was going to get turned off, even though that I had already went and got a new phone number. And yeah.
So they were mad that you called the police and their son went to jail because of his actions.
Yep. But then I have text messages where they are telling me to call the law later on in the relationship. They tell me to call the law. But then they get mad every time that I call the law.
Did he ever go to prison for any of this, or was it always just a couple of nights in jail and then he's coming back? And
So he is actually in jail right now until February of next year.
because of your situation or because of something else he got himself into?
Because I currently have a DVO order against him and he has violated it 4 times.
Mm.
And the last time that we went to court, which was actually a revoke in the county that I live in, because he was on probation, they sentenced him to 245 days.
Okay. So they kind of doing a little something in your county now.
But that's not the county that he was caught doing it in.
Okay. Y'all, it's a lot of.
But would you like to know what he was arrested for the last
Oh
time?
my gosh. Now I have to know because question like that. Absolutely.
So I just don't like being, put in a situation, where I think that something might turn about. I was going to pick up, our son from somebody watching him. I noticed that he was sitting at a particular place and there was a train. So I don't like feeling trapped. So I just removed myself from the situation because the DVO order protects him from my work property. So I went back, waited for the train to go by. He basically went to the store across the road, turned around. Then I had already called Kentucky State Police to come, or called dispatch, and they had made a trooper call me. I was on the phone with the trooper sitting in the driveway of the house that our son was at. He had driven by twice already while I was on the phone with the state trooper. Already driven by twice, but it's a public road. It's a public road, so it's fine. They can't do nothing because it's a public road. Well, then the state trooper told me that he would come and patrol the town and everything just to make me feel a little bit safer. So he did. I get a phone call from a person telling me that they had just seen him walking across the railroad tracks dressed all in black. So the state trooper calls me back. And so I tell him, I said, hey, I just got a phone call from somebody saying that they seen him walking across the railroad tracks dressed all in black. So the state trooper said, okay, well, I've located the vehicle and there's nobody in it. Okay. So yeah, he got arrested at the corner of the road that I was at to pick our son up, standing there, seeing if I was still located at the residence, even admitted that to the state trooper. But he thought that it was okay because he was within the 500 feet.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. His first arrest for violating this current DVO order was looking through my front door. Yes, ma'am.
Where is he living at this time? So okay, hold on. Because we didn't got to hold on a second. We gotta back up. So you've been abused all throughout the pregnancy. You have to go in for emergency C-section, and he's there. He's there when you have the baby.
Yes.
Okay. After your time at the hospital, do both of y'all come back to your house with your son? Okay.
Yeah, we was in a relationship at that time. Yes.
Okay. Okay. And are you healed before the abuse starts or continues, or like what is that?
I think that I'm pretty sure that I was healed, which of course he was in the NICU for 46 days. So we was having to drive back and forth every single
Okay.
day. Every single
Okay.
day.
Do you feel like that was like a bonding time for y'all where your hope was kind of getting a little better? Like, he's doing this, he's with me, he's with our son, he cares, or was he just like,
May a little bit because I mean like he would hold him and everything like that. But the way that I see it now, that's not it.
so 45 days and then your son comes home, y'all are still
Yeah.
living together, you're still in a relationship.
Mhm.
How long do you stay before you're like, I can't take this anymore? Now I need protective orders.
Um I had to file the first one because he hit me in the back of the head.
With what?
His fist.
Why?
Because I wouldn't have sex with him. He was actually trying to force himself on me, and I told him no multiple times to the point that I literally had to sit down in the floor just so he could not gain access. Yes, yes, ma'am. And he hit me in the back of the head with his fist so hard that my vision went black. And I literally called my sister. He did not even know that I had called her. They showed up at the door and I unlocked the door from my phone. And I was still naked in there because I had just gotten out of the bath and our son was in the bathtub taking a bath. And yeah, like I was still naked when my sister and my brother-in-law got here. Yeah,
I can only imagine that made him more angry.
it did. It did because he was trying to leave and he was trying to talk to me. And of course, my brother-in-law, being a police officer, he was like, "You can't leave." He said, "And you need to go." And he said, "We're going over here." And he literally, I think, took him outside on the back porch, if I'm not mistaken.
You called them. Did anybody call the police
My
for?
brother-in-law did. My brother-in-law did.
Okay, and he held homeboy at the house. until the
Yes.
police arrived.
Yes, because he was trying to leave, and he told him that he couldn't let him leave.
But he didn't try to be aggressive with your brother-in-law.
No. And he knows mixed martial arts also too. Homeboy knows mixed martial arts.
So he's the type that I'm not really gonna be aggressive with another man, but I can definitely do it with
Probably.
smaller.
Yet to hear him tell it, he'll whoop anybody.
Of course, of course, of course.
Yeah.
Because if I'm that angry, like I would be pissed. And I'm not, I don't care that you're off-duty police officer. You know?
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna sit here and stay around for you to let somebody come arrest me.
Yeah.
So that's, oh my gosh. Wow. Because, and this is what I need people to understand. Because, like I was talking about it in last week's episode, people want to know why a woman will still have sex with somebody who's abusing them. And it's not that you necessarily want to do it.
But yeah. But after that, he got help for a little bit, but not
How so?
long.
What kind of help?
He was seeing a family friend who does some kind of psychiatry, whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Who I think he had one in session, like one sit down in session with her. The rest were phone sessions.
Mm-hmm.
To my knowledge, were phone sessions.
Okay. So it sounds good. It looks good on the surface, but nothing's really changing because.
And she prescribed him some medicine, which kind of helped a little bit with the anger issues and stuff. But, yeah.
Okay. So you get hit upside the head. The police are called. He goes to jail that day.
Yeah, he went to jail that night. And then I just ruined his life by doing that.
Was that the last time he was in your house, or did you allow him back after that?
No, after he got help and had been probably a little bit, I did let him come back.
Because you thought that things would change.
I did. Always promised that things would change. He would get help. No.
And it didn't.
Nope.
Because they don't really want to change. They just want to have what they want to have in the moment. So
Yeah.
how long did it take? Like, how long were y'all in a relationship before you like, enough is enough, I can't do this anymore? And what did that look like when you got to that?
Think it was, I finally got out in October of 2023.
Okay.
Um, yes. He had started getting violent towards our son. Yes.
Oh,
Do what?
how so? What was he doing?
He basically, like, I had seen, which there was a couple of incidences, but I can't, prove, that. But I did witness one incident. I had even went to these people, talked to them about it. I had even told his mom and dad about it. They told me not to report it as child abuse because of what would happen to him in jail. They was more worried about what would happen to him in jail than their grandson. And I have those text messages that were given to my lawyer. Because guess who wants 50-50?
Yep.
Because
And we,
the abuse doesn't stop when you leave. It don't. That's my struggle right now.
so he started getting violent. You left in 2023. How long had y'all been in a relationship at that time?
I would say probably almost 6-7 years.
Okay. 6, 7 years. Gosh.
Maybe 6,
Okay.
maybe 6.
Okay. 6 years. You call the police the last time
Oh,
after you just kick him out.
that last time I did, I actually did have an order whenever he was here, because I told him that I would not drop that order unless he did go and get help. And that last one came from whenever he literally slapped me in the face and left his handprint on my face.
For what?
Because I told him to get out of my house. And I guess that I just kept saying it enough that it made him mad. And yeah. And my eye black, like right here, my eye blacked. I think it was this side. It was one of them, because I have a picture of the bruises on my face. And his parents seen the bruise on my face. The judge even seen the bruise on my face, and he even admitted to the judge that he done it. Yep.
And how did the judge respond?
She just done the protective order.
So no jail time.
Nope.
People think that this is a game.
Nope. Like he admitted that he done it. I mean, my face was still bruised when we went to court. Like, I showed up at work with a literal handprint on my face. Like, I could probably pull up the picture on my phone and show it to you. Because I have everything.
Who in their right legal mind is sitting right in front of this with evidence and verbal confession to something, and all you're going to do is give a protective order?
Yep, all that she did was file the order. Which now the order is good until 2027. So, like, he's not allowed any communication whatsoever, not even if it pertains to him.
So what happens in 2027? You got to go back.
I have to renew it. I have to renew it.
Is there a way that he can contest it?
I don't know if he can or not. If I don't make it to the courthouse in order to get it renewed by the way that our state does it, then it'll expire. So
and
I have to
have no legal right to say you're not allowed here. You can't do this. You can't do that.
Right. Like, I just have to go to the courthouse and file a motion basically to renew it. And then we have to go before the judge, or the judge will sign it.
It shouldn't even be like this. That should not even be like, it should be. Why are you having, oh my gosh. This is so frustrating to me, because the person who endures the most still has to do the most just to remain safe, just to move on with their life, when the person who's abusing moves on with their lives and abuses other people, and they're not inconvenienced in any way.
That's it.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
I will say the one thing though is that his lawyer actually did drop him.
Wow.
His lawyer did drop him as a client.
That says a lot. That says a lot to, like, what?
Yeah.
I don't understand the court system. I don't understand the protect and serve system when it just seems so just backwards. Like, it's just, how does it, like, it just seems like it negates all common sense and just sticks with whoever wrote a law however many years ago. Because
now there was one incident that he had violated the DVO order that I had in place. I think that this was the second time that he had violated it. And because we had a revoke coming up, no, this was the third time he had violated it. Honestly, the third time. He had a revoke coming up in Hopkins County, and he had violated it that day. And I had called the sheriff's office to tell them that he had violated it. They just told me to be sure to tell the courts whenever we go for the revoke. So, guess what? Sheriff's office kind of isn't a fan of me, because I turned around and I called KSP, which is Kentucky State Police. I called KSP. All I had to do was show them a picture of him violating the order. And then, of course, I had a witness right there that said, yeah, like he was right here, pulled in right here in the parking lot. And yeah, they went ahead and arrested him right then and there that day. And then his parents came down there and started yelling at me. And my friend that was there.
They should be arrested too. Like, that's harassment at that point. That's harassment. Can I not get you on harassment? I don't understand why we have these protocols in place and why people legit think that you're taking every step that you're supposed to take according to what they gave you. And then you get told, well, just make sure you document that and let them know. Like, I could literally lose my life because he's here and he doesn't care about a piece of paper.
Well, my brain thought through that was, I was just like, okay, well, all that you're doing is basically telling him that either I didn't call the law on him violating that, and so now he's gonna think that I can get closer to her, or she's gonna take me back. Please do not press the button. Or, like, oh, well, I can do this because I'm not gonna get in trouble,
Right.
Do not press a button. Hey, 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 there's Linux. You better get Linux. No. Yes. No. You being a turkey. Goober doober.
Oh my gosh, it's gonna be all right, girl. It's gonna be all right. That's true. That goes back to the same mindset that they have at the very beginning. It's like, what can I get away with?
Yeah.
What can I get away with? And if I don't have consequences for it, how far can I go?
Yep.
Oh my
I mean,
God.
that's just like this last time, him dressed all in black, and he thought that he was okay just because he was, out of the 500, feet that he's, allowed within. I can't tell you how many times, that he drives by my work whenever he's out. And not only that, but he literally followed me to the next town a couple of days prior to our court hearing. And he even made contact with me outside of the courtroom. The county attorney is trying to get a perjury charge on him because he lied under oath. Because he made contact with me right there in front of the victim's advocate.
That's wild.
Like, he just thinks that authority doesn't apply to him.
So you're still dealing with this?
Absolutely, 100%. Yes,
Because
ma'am.
they won't just put him in jail and hold him.
No, he gets out in February, and I have asked multiple times for a mental evaluation. Multiple times. I asked whenever the 50-50, was brought up, because doesn't pay child support. If he does, it's only whenever a contempt charge is coming, or if he thinks that custody court's coming. He owes $6,700, but has only paid $950. Works under the table, so checks aren't garnished. I have all the paperwork, every single bit of it.
Well, sis, I mean, I don't even know what to say for this. Like, what do you do when you're doing everything you're supposed to do? And the system that was set up in place to protect you is not protecting. Like, they're doing the bare minimum, if that.
I was like, well, luckily KSP, like, anytime that I call, like, they're on it.
They're on it.
Like, luckily they are normally on it.
Gosh, but the fact that you have to keep calling.
Yes.
And you have all of this documented proof.
Mm-hmm.
That's ridiculous.
I was actually told that the last time from the county attorney in the neighboring county that they were going to charge him for stalking, but that's not what happened. He was actually supposed to serve 90 days in that jail, And this was the fourth violation of this DVO order. He got out within 45 days.
Why? Good behavior?
We have no idea. The victim's advocate has called. They will not return her calls. Nothing. We have no idea why he got out. All I know is that I got an alert on my phone through the Vine app that we use here in Kentucky, to alert and everything. I got an alert on my phone. I was like, he's still supposed to have, like 30 days. Or, it told me that he got out.
Do you feel like now, because of how everything is transpiring, that you live with anxiety because he knows where you live and you're still calling, and yes, they're answering, yes, they're arresting him, but it's continuing to happen. Like, are you
I don't feel
can't
like that enough is being done, to be honest. Because I do feel like a mental evaluation needs to be done. And I have asked.
and they're not pursuing it?
No. They told me that I was safer with him in jail.
Yes, that is true, but clearly he's getting out, so
My anxiety is less whenever he is in jail.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
I hate that for you. I hate that.
Because just knowing that that first violation that he was, like looking through my, door and everything, and I had to pay $1,000 for a security camera and everything. Um, and then a week later caught him doing that. Um, Definitely. And apparently he had been doing it for a whole month, and I
Oh,
didn't even know because I don't turn on, my front porch light, and it's in like this barricade. But he had been watching us through the front door for over a month. And I didn't know. I heard a noise and I called my brother, I called my sister, she sent my brother-in-law. My brother-in-law chased him into the woods.
are you serious?
Yes, ma'am, with his yes. Yes. Yep. Like he literally leaped off of my front porch, off the side, and took off running into the woods. And my brother in law chased him and told me to call 911.
Something better has to be done.
And he also has threatened my life to somebody.
Really?
Yes, to two people that I'm aware of or that they have told me. Yep. And to my knowledge, one of them went and made a statement, like I guess like a statement to the county attorney's office, but to my
Hmm.
knowledge, nothing's ever been done about it, so I don't know. He has threatened that if he finds out that I'm seeing anybody that, um, yeah, that it'll be bad for me and that he'll beat the crap out of the guy. Yep. So, like, no, it don't end once you leave for some. Definitely don't.
Right, because the harassment is real,
Yep.
and the system doesn't take it seriously.
Yeah.
The harassment is real and so are the threats. Like, it's not, I'm not just saying this for the sake of saying it. I'm saying it because I will actually do it.
Yeah, like I don't doubt it one bit, to be honest. I really don't.
Bree, what advice do you have to someone who is at the beginning of a relationship, like they got kind of a little bit of signs, or they're actually in it right now? What would you tell them?
To get out while they can. Because I mean, I got threatened, that even if I attempted to get the gun to protect myself, that I would be laying in a pool of my own blood before I would ever get to it. I got told that I would never even make it to the gun. I would be laying in a pool of my own blood. Yep.
Get out. Just
Yes. Yeah, if you see the red flags, get out because it will not get better. They will not change. No, they won't.
So what do you think now? You're out of the relationship, the harassment is still happening. How does your life and your child's life look in the future to you? Do you feel like at some point all of the craziness is going to settle down and you're going to be able to have a normal life? Or do you feel like you're constantly going to be looking over your shoulders?
Mm, there's time, like whenever he's in jail, of course, there's a whole lot of peace. When he's out, it really just depends because his moods were, I, I don't know, like I feel like that a little bit of bipolar, you know? So I feel like weather definitely had an effect on it. Like I'm not a doctor or nothing, but there was just days that he would, be fine. Then there was days that you were literally walking on eggshells. That's why I'm just like, there's probably days where, yeah, he's probably going to leave me alone. And it does feel bad. I think that it does keep his mind occupied whenever he does have a job. But then again, he ain't paying child support or nothing. He's just paying somebody to fight me on it. That's it. I was like, this money ain't going to support me. It's going to support your child. Like all you doing by withholding child support is basically burdening your child because you're making them miss out on other stuff that they could, be having because you're putting more financial stress on me who takes care of him 100% of the time basically. But he
Exactly.
doesn't, but I guarantee you he does not see it that way.
Of course not.
That's his money. Guarantee it.
Girl, 6, 7 years, and now this is a lot to manage. Being a mom is a lot to manage. Kudos to you for continuing to show up, for being an advocate, for being out there and getting your story out and being vocal about these things, because it's not only healing for us when we're able to have conversations about what we've been through and being able to identify the things that we could have adjusted or changed so that we didn't have to endure it, but
Yes.
it's a testament to people who may find themselves in that situation. it's it's almost like I'm here to support you because I know what you've been through, or I have a familiar sense about what you've been through, but I'm also here to show you that you should get out, you can get out, and you can find a life outside of what you think is only left for your life.
Yes.
Anything else you want to leave us with, Miss Bree?
There is life after. I mean, we have a, group here in town called the Sanctuary Inc. and they have, free counselors and everything, and they have been a blessing. 100% a blessing.
That's amazing. That's a,
Yes.
because counseling is definitely a necessity after you've endured any kind of trauma, honestly, but especially abuse from another human being and one who claims to love you and all of these things. It is really imperative that we get counseling, that we get, because they play so many mental games with you that
Yes.
you need to get back to balanced mentally so that you can make better decisions moving forward, not just in relationships but just in life general, because a lot of things can trigger you to make a decision that you wouldn't normally have made if you weren't in that trauma. Bree, girl, that I just want to thank you for taking your time to spend time with us today, to share your story, to shine your light, to show that there is life after, that you can have joy, that you can have a sense of peace, that you can move on, and that you are deserving and you worth more than how someone else chooses to treat you. Thank you for your honesty, your transparency. Thank you for stopping by. We're going to keep in touch, of course. Thank you
Yes.
for everything you're doing in your community where you live, just being an advocate and a supporter, because we all need it. And that's what these conversations are for, so that we can come together in community. We appreciate you. We appreciate your whole life. And we want you to keep showing up, keep sharing love, keep shining your light. This, guys, has been another amazing episode of the Can't Be Broken podcast. We love you as always. And until next week, we're gone.